what it is. It don't wash off. No, nada. Forever. And contrary to the rumors, there's no Baileys in my coffee. Woo! Let's go! Oh no, I promise you, as usual, I'm more excited than you are. No, it's true. I'm gonna prove it. Because there is a whole nother attitude. Well, I'm probably not in a better mood than Rick Samarano. He's seen it up close and personal. Anna Diaz-Rincon, she's seen it up close and personal, so that's different. Often imitated, never duplicated. That fool with no hair, that shouts like Ric Flair. Woo! What? Woo! Woo! The R8RBEAR! R8RBEAR! What's up, fam? Let's do this. So what's up, fam? Welcome to the show. Appreciate you all tuning in. As always, my peoples, R8RBEAR, R8R family, R8R Nation. How you guys doing? I'm doing pretty good. We have so much to talk about. Well, I mean, I'm doing better than pretty good because I love what we're hearing out of camp already. I love the reaction the players are having to Pete Carroll. But most of all, okay, I'm just going to say it. I was going to save this for later in the show, but I can't stop getting excited about the fact that our offense in camp is already just clicking already. It's incredible. All right. I see I've got a few people in. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. I'm not really going to wait for people to pile in. I'm giving them like 10 seconds. And that's it. And then I'm just going to let it, we're going to just start it. This, for some reason, this motion became, we're going to start it. Okay. And 10 seconds up. Tradish! R8RBEAR Live. First comment. MVP tonight. MVP tonight. Gold medalist. Number one, numero uno. El Jefe? And we have an upset tonight. Oh! 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 Essay! Big dog! D, what are you doing up here winning a gold medal on YouTube? Upsetting my heavyweight champion, who was like a multi-time, okay, gold medalist. You have messed with his groove. Mark Vargas, don't take this lightly. The man's hungry. Speaking of world champions, Mark, that emoji making son of a gun, Vargas. Appreciate you, brother. Welcome to the show. Always there for R8RBEAR. And third place on my YouTube. One of my favorite people. Woo! Third place. My bronze medal goes to that closet inhabitant son of a gun. Ramiro! Woo! Cash flow! Patent pending. Castro! on, brother? Welcome to the show. Always there for Raider Bear. That's my guy. All right. Appreciate you tuning in, all my YouTube peoples. Honorable mention to, whoa, look at this. Lucky Pace and Mount Rushmore in the house, David Pellcliver. What's up, D? Welcome to the show. Always there for Raider Bear. All right, on to my Facebook peoples. First place with our gold medal in Facebook is that sultry sounding son of a gun I like so much. Met him personally. Lucky Pace! LP, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. Always there for a Raider Bear. Man, I love these medals tonight. Silver medal, Facebook, Joe Holman. Big Joe Holman. What's up, Joe? Welcome to the show. My now personal bodyguard. So just saying to those of you who are watching the show from the outside who don't really know me, just know Big Joe watches Little Joe. Or, well, I'm not little, but we'll call me Slim Joe. Third place, my bronze medal goes to Mike Henderson. What's up, man? Welcome to the show. Always there for Raider Bear, rocking that bronze medal, which you know looks just like a gold, but it's like it has a tan. It's just a shade darker. Take that thing to the beach, brother. Now, good things will happen. And if you're married, you know, the wife will just, you know, it's like catnip. She'll just be all over you. And if she's watching, I apologize. All right, let's get right to it here. Kevin Kahu Hano, honorable mention. Appreciate you, brother. What's up, Pete Vasquez? I see you there. Corinna Trujillo, who always reminds me to remind all of you to consider a subscription to Raider Bear Family page. On YouTube, right over there, just hit that little thumbs up and then click on that little subscribe if you haven't already. And if you haven't already and you've already watched my show, what the hell? Mike. Thumbs up to you, Mike. Money, 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 money. Hey there, right back, Joe. Tony Carpenter Evans. Air Force on deck. What's up, lovely? That new profile picture, girl. Stop it. Looking good. Corinna Trujillo, who reminds me to remind all of you that coins shared on the show go greatly appreciated, and they go to charities that we work with all over the world and into going to some of the equipment and stuff that we use to make this show go. And we really appreciate it. Craig Gilmore, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. Ellis Irving, I'm doing great, man. It's good to see you. Looking good, brother. Steven Shaw's my guy right there. What's up, Steven? Hi, Mrs. Shaw. Damn. Weather here. Yesterday, tsunami warning, and we got a Category 3 hurricane headed to us. I'm sorry, brother. Prayers up. Much love to you. Steven Shaw. Appreciate the love on the stars, brother. Okay, so getting into business. The Raiders already are moving super fast. It's unlike anything we've seen from the Raiders in over a decade. And I mean that seriously. We have not had anything like this. This camp is nothing like John Gruden's camps ever were. It's way better. The pacing is spot on. The press are even talking, not just the players, but the press are even talking about the fact that everything is just more pleasant. It's more upbeat. They can feel the players relaxing. They can feel the fact that the players like the fact that they're never confused about what their responsibilities are or where they're supposed to be. They know the drills they're running. Everything is communicated way, way better. And when you have better communication between your coaching staff and your players, you get better football, period. It doesn't matter what players you have, whether you have 10 stars or 5 stars or whatever the case, star players, whatever the case may be. That team's going to be better simply because they're in a better way up here and here, because Pete Carroll makes these guys like no other coach they've worked with feel like, wow, I'm you know what I mean? I feel freed. I don't feel like he's watching me over my back. I don't feel like, oh, coach is going to come out and crush me and throw me off the team if I make a mistake. You know, he's going to work with me and talk to me. We're really going to class. You know what I'm saying? And by the way, I thought this was brilliant. How can you improve how students work while still using the same amount of time? In other words, don't make them stay longer because they're getting bad grades. That might make the grades worse. Find a way to motivate them that improves their grades, but within the exact same frame amount of time. Get better teachers. Now, with respect to anyone who's a teacher, I want to be clear. Obviously, it's not always the teacher's fault. But in our instance, the last few teachers we've had, AP, no experience whatsoever. Josh McDaniels, no experience whatsoever, other than a ton of offensive coordinator experience, no head coach experience, other than getting a head coaching job and then doing a horrible, terrible job with the Broncos and then getting fired, and then getting a job with the Colts and then quitting before he's there for even a single day, signs a contract and then goes, never mind, to go back to the Patriots and be an assistant. So we haven't had a genuine coaching, education style based coach in a very long time. And it's already starting to show on the players. Guys are talking about the fact that they feel better when they go on the field because they know what they're supposed to be doing, how they're supposed to be doing it. There's no questioning. And be honest, we've all been in school. Think back to how you felt when you're going to take a test that you weren't quite prepared for. You're nervous. You're looking around at your friends, wondering if they're ready. You're nervous. You don't know if you know all these answers, blah, blah. Instead, the players that go out into the field like, no, we studied before. Teacher communicated the night before what we're doing. No, I got it. You know what I mean? That's the mentality of the people on the field. And I'm loving it so far. It just looks freeing. I saw they gave Miller his extension. Yes, Joe, and thank you for bringing that up. So let's go ahead and pivot to that. Okay, so as far as Colton Miller gets his extension, now let me remind you, it was only like maybe, I think it was Monday or Tuesday, the Chargers re-upped with Rashawn Slater, their starting left tackle, for a 4-year, $114 million deal. That's roughly $28.5 a season. Also, he was ranked Pro Football... Wait a minute. Okay, here we go. I wanted to bring this up. Colton Miller was ranked 14th amongst starting left tackles by Pro Football Focus. Now, obviously 14th's not the best, but it's obviously not anywhere near the worst. So I thought he'll get his extension, but I didn't think it would be... I didn't think it was going to be in the ballpark of this guy, because at 28.5, if he's one of the better guys, and they don't have Colton Miller ranked above him, I would say 28, Colton Miller should get somewhere in the neighborhood of 22, 25, maybe 24, somewhere in that range. And then I read the Raiders and Colton Miller have agreed on a 3-year, $66 million contract extension. The deal reportedly includes a $42.5 million guaranteed sum. Now, that's not too bad when you consider if you average up the rest, like if you had a fourth year clicked on like this guy, you would be closer to that $114 million. So he's not making as much as that guy, but he's not that far behind him. And considering he was only 14th among starters in the league, I think this is a great contract. I think he's going to be happy with it, more than happy with this, and things are going to go along real smooth moving forward. Miguel Garcia, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. One more time, Karina. True, hello. Appreciate you, girl. Much love. Edward Winchell, how's the family? Hope you're doing well and enjoying the summer, little buddy. My guy, Winchy. What's up, Winchy? Welcome to the show. Always there for Raider Bear. Edward Winchy, one time on my wedding anniversary, sent me to dinner with Mama Bear, and I did not ask. He just did it. And he would do it right now. If I said, hey, I want to do it this year, he'd do it right now. I'm not saying that. He's so nice. I'm not hinting. Yeah, I appreciate you, brother. And remember, if you care, you share a Raider Bear. Appreciate you coming, Kahu Hanu Hanu. Hi, honey. Troy Gill, how you doing, man? Welcome to the show. Okay, so we recently brought in, let me get his name up here, Keandre Coburn, defensive tackle, formerly with the Titans. Now, I can't tell you a bunch of flashing things about the guy. He's bounced around a little bit. He's what you would consider a depth defensive tackle. But listen to this real quick. Right here. Keandre Coburn has been a key addition to the Las Vegas Raiders roster, bringing his experience and depth to the team. After spending the second half of 23 and the entirety of 2024 with the Tennessee Titans, Coburn joined the Raiders for his third NFL season. He has played in 20 career games with 10 solo tackles, 1 tackle for a loss, and yada, 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 a couple other things. He's 6'2", 332 pounds. I was really nice. I was glad to see that because some of these guys you get like Max Crosby. We know Max Crosby's one of the best in the league, and he really is. But when you run against him, obviously your chances of beating Max when you're trying to run at him are better than trying to pass block against him. Okay, obviously that's not a shot on Max. Max is one of my favorite people in the world. I really love that guy. And his mom is so cool. Blah blah blah. Anyway, but if you're gonna attack him, that's the best way to do it because we know he tears quarterbacks' heads off, and right tackles have all kinds of problems with him. So I would rather just attack, run at him. More so, maybe like 3-to-1 ratio: run, throw, run, throw, that kind of thing. And so now with a defensive lineman that we're bringing in at 332 pounds, it doesn't matter. You can't do that. You're not going to move that guy around. And he's my height at 6. Well, I'm 6'3", but he's 6'2", 332 pounds. That's a big boy. To get to 330 at 6'2", that's a big boy. That means he's basically my height, but that much more wide. And he's not fat. I mean, if you see him, I'm looking at the picture of him. Dude is buff. So good things. Good things. Also, it was either, I want to say Wednesday. It was either Wednesday or Tuesday's camp. There was a very important moment that happened in the news. I was just reading from a reporter. I thought you guys would love this. There was a moment where they called a pass play, and our new guy, Dante Thornton, got squared up with Darian Porter, our new corner. And he went at Darian Porter, gave him a little shimmy shake, broke right. Darian Porter got caught reaching a little bit, turned, and had to catch up. He was only a step or two behind him, but he was behind him, but he was only a step or two behind him. So right when Thornton got him, though, the best part of the story is Geno Smith hit him with a dime, okay? It was something like a 40-yard play and hits him with a dime right around the 24-yard route of the play. He makes the catch, does a little whoosh, and takes off, and he's gone. And he scored a touchdown. And it's just exciting because we weren't able to do a lot of that in practice in the last couple years, even just in practice. I know that sounds crazy, but if you look it up, if you go, to where the players are interviewed, look it up, you'll see it. They're talking about it. Just the fact that they're excited that instead of the defense just being the thing that looks good, you're seeing the offense really get their act together. Can I just say one more time real quick that Devin White is coming back with a vengeance? Devin White is playing pissed in camp. In camp, he's in camp playing pissed, and so I'm so excited about what this guy's gonna do. Yeah, Edward, I was just telling that good story about our guy Geno Smith. I know I can see clearly you're a fan too. I'm impressed by Geno Smith's comeback. You guys have to remember, it goes back before 2022. Before 2022, he was considered a bust. You know what I mean? He was a guy that got knocked out by a linebacker on his own team in the locker room because he dogged him on a benefit for charity that he was supposed to show up to. Geno didn't show up, and the linebacker came back, went into the locker room and said, why'd you stand me up? And he said, shut up, fool. And the linebacker went, what'd you say? Bow! And just completely broke his jaw. I was laughing about it for like a week, you know what I mean? Because I just thought, who does that? You're that mad at a guy. You risk, and by the way, he didn't risk. It did happen. He was later kicked off the team. He lost his contract. He had to go to a different team. And he did sign on with a different team. He was a good enough linebacker that it didn't get him kicked out of the league, but it might have. And it definitely got him. It was definitely going to get him kicked off the roster. You cannot go across the chin of any quarterback, really. First, second, or third string. You need him. You know what I mean? And so he went at the guy that, at the time, I think that was with the Colts. And they had Geno there after a trade, and he broke his jaw. But the offense is getting off to a cracking start. They're starting to really learn this offense. It looks really good. Jeff Foster, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. I need a new bag. This one's getting old. Got something I could wear that fit a size 8 melon? Hint, hint. I've only got like 20 size 8s. All sorts of size 8s. I got 8s all over the place. Just 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8. Just all that. Well, that was mine, but I got all sorts of 8s. I got 8s everywhere. I got all kinds of 8s. Tony Carpenter Evans! Still the only mom that's ever looked at me and asked me to help her son get his to drop. I swear, Tony, you almost had me choking. Karina Trujillo! Appreciate the love on the stars. Bob Standard, my good friend in the house. What's up, brother? Mike Ref, how you doing, man? Welcome to the show. Present. Look at Jordan Meredith's Pro Football Focus grade. Miller was hurt for a large portion of the year. His pass block grade was decent, but his run block grade was well below average. I'm assuming his shoulder is all better now, though expecting huge things. Yeah, Colton Miller's better. He's got his new deal. He's happy. It's close enough to being one of the top paid left tackles in the league that I think he's going to come back and he's going to kick a lot of butt for us. But let it not go unnoticed. Okay? As Raider fans, we get really mad when we feel like Mark Davis isn't doing enough, or if we feel like the team isn't going after a guy in free agency, or whatever the case may be. Let's not forget, when the Chargers re-upped their guy, Rashawn Slater, it was within a matter of days the Raiders went, okay. And he set the market, so they then went back to Colton Miller and immediately satisfied him and his agent. No argument. No, we have to check the language in the contract like they had to do with Besh. But no, just done deal. I love that. And when have you seen the Raiders move that quickly in the past? Never. You can feel a difference that the front office. I'm not gonna give Tom credit yet. I'm not. Okay, I'm not. I won't. I can't. I refuse. But he might have a little something to do with getting Mark Davis to make smarter business decisions quickly. Oh, God, I have to punish my brain later for saying that now. But, Jeff Foster, it's funny you mentioned Jordan Meredith because although I don't know what his Pro Football Focus number is, I can say this. He right now is in a little bit of a battle in camp with Jackson Powers Davis. He has given him a hard time. And by hard time, I mean they've been switching back and forth with the starters each day at camp. First day of camp, Powers started. Second day, it was Meredith, then Powers and Meredith, and so on. And the word I'm getting from camp is that Meredith is more than holding his own at center. And they already know that Powers can give them high-level football at left or right guard and at center. He's more flexible, a little bit more flexible as far as almost any position he's going to give you good football. You know, at center, he gives you what he believes is great football, and yet he can't secure the job from Meredith. I'm impressed. I mean, unless this is mind games by Pete Carroll to keep the competition level high, which it very well could be, because Carroll is known for that. I got you on the education angle, but I did AP for that first half season, but it wasn't under ready pressure. When he got named head coach, I think he let pressure get to him, and he was holding on too tight. I'm sure you've heard the old saying that pressure bursts pipes. Yeah, Joe, that's a great point, and I really liked Antonio. In fact, he's probably one of the few guys that could come onto a team, become the head coach, and you're really not going to hold anything against the guy. You know what he was as a pro. You know he's a Super Bowl champion. You know he's a guy that's classy. Does he get into his share of fights and is kind of rough and has those ghetto edges? Yes, but that's what we like about him. I don't like it when we say we like someone, but then we say we can only take their good and not their bad. You know what I mean? No, that's who they are. I mean, Marshawn Lynch to me is one of my favorite people in the world because he got rich and he still falls asleep drunk in a Ferrari. You know what I mean? He wasn't drunk driving. You know what I mean? He just went out to his car and passed out. You know what I mean? No one was at risk of life. He just slept there. And he stayed there all night until morning. Nobody screwed with him until the police came and saw him there because I guess people called on him. They probably called on him. AP was a stopgap hire, took a position coach we could afford to lose, and made him the interim coach. Well, although I don't completely disagree with you about that, I do disagree with you to a certain extent, only because why would you bring in two former playoff consistent winning head coaches to just be his teacher? Do you see what I'm saying? And that was not something that they kept under wraps. They made it very clear that they brought those guys in, Marvin Lewis and Joe Philbin from the Dolphins, Marvin Lewis from the Bengals, to say, hey, you guys have a ton of head coaching experience. Get this guy on the right page. And, they couldn't. JP, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Always there for R8RBEAR, my fashion designer. Yes, Jesse, he is squared away now. Colton Miller's going to be real nice. Oh, wait a minute. Tim Newport's here. That means Peggy's watching. Hold on, Peggy. I did something special just for you. I went into my box of stuff, and I dug up something that I haven't put on camera for a long time, and it's just to welcome you. I know how you guys in your fan base like towels. Tim, and that's with all due respect, man to man, husband to husband, just jokes. We went out tonight, but your favorite pain in the ass, but honest Steeler fan and my hubby are here. Mwah, I appreciate you guys so much. Welcome to the show. Hey, Jeff Foster, let's see what you got now. So glad we released Wilkins. It allowed us to pay Miller. Well, yeah, but not only that, the guy was on video twerking in the weight room, and then he kisses some guy on top of his head, which is, come on, man. Come on, man. I was all wrong about Christian Wilkins. I loved his positive attitude. I loved the jokester. I love the fact that he brought a real light-hearted mentality to the roster. And when I saw him using it with the Dolphins, it seemed like a positive thing. And then you don't kiss a man on the top of his head when he's lifting weights in a weight room where everybody's wearing black and everybody's acting like dogs and men and want to lift weights because they're, tough and want to get bigger and stronger. And you walk by and kiss a dude on his head. Come on, man. Come on, man. Mike Ref, I had high hopes for Christian Wilkins. Me too, Mike. I really did. Since last year, he's an elite defensive tackle. It's sad the way things turned out. Mike, it is sad because I don't think that either side had a problem. I think the Raiders liked him, and I think he liked playing for us. It wasn't until he got the break that this other stuff started coming out. And it wasn't happening until the break. So until he broke his foot and he couldn't play, and I think some of this was frustration. In other words, I want to be a part of the team. I'm here. I'm a Raider, but I can't go out there and bang with you guys. I can't hit the pads. I can't really, throw loose in the weight room. This sucks. You know what I mean? And so he reverted to the only thing I think he had to kind of say, hey, guys, I love you guys. I love being a Raider, blah, blah. And that was to just be a jokester. Did I see a purple? Oh, I would love that one. My birthday is next month. Hint, hint. No hint necessary, Corinna. Yeah, you don't want to toy with your quarterback's blind side. Pay that man. Yeah, and not only that, can we argue whether he deserved it or not? Colton Miller to me is one of the most interesting stories when you go back and you really look how he developed. When he went into high school, he was really tall, but he wasn't big yet. So at first, he struggled a little bit. By the time he finished his career in high school, he was their captain and the best offensive lineman in the team. Then he went to UCLA. When he first got to UCLA, he was undersized, got pushed around, wasn't a starter, then became a starter, then became a captain, then became the best offensive lineman on the team. and then went to us in the draft. And so he comes to us. His rookie season, he struggled a lot, looked really bad. Second season in the NFL, had literally a 60% improvement. I'm not kidding. I was shocked by how much Colton Miller got better in his second year. And then by his third and fourth years, he's looking all pro. So, great story. I'm looking at some young defensive tackle prospects coming out of college in 26, but that's just me researching early. No, you got to do that sometimes so we have some idea of who they might be looking at. Hey, I just saw something else I like. We got Pete Carroll for 3 years, and we got a core of our studs for 3 years, too. Not only Miller, but Crosby, Geno, Butler, and I think one more. Yeah, Joe, so what does that sound like to you? And I know you already get it. Just looking at you, I know you already get it. Are you into Westerns? You look like a guy that would be into Westerns. I'm really into Westerns. I loved all the old spaghetti films with Clint Eastwood and, and so on and so forth. But anyway, I think that this is going to make them all feel like the last ride. You know what I mean? We're all together. This is our run for greatness. And in these next 3 years, let's get right in this next season, and then let's go win 2 rings. And show that the Chiefs era is not only over, it's dead. You know what I mean? I want that to be us. Meredith was graded like a top 10 guard. Jeff, I'm not actually that surprised. I know you aren't if you've been following him, because since he's been with us, he's only gotten better. Every season he gets more valuable because he's getting more versatile. He's been playing both guard positions. He's been helping at right tackle. He helped at left tackle. I mean, the guy's almost playing, and center. He's playing everywhere. And now he's in a heated battle to be the starting center. The starting center. Okay, that's the guy that calls out your protection. He's the most important guy in your line. And he's outplaying the guy we brought in to do the job. You know what I mean? Well, I shouldn't say he's outplaying him. Sorry, Bob. I always get him mixed up because I have a Jackson Powers Davis on my Golden State Warriors. Jackson Powers Johnson. Excuse me. Thank you, Bob. I appreciate that. Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. Joseph Bear, I really need one of those towels. Oh, you wrote towers, but I know you meant towels. No, Bob Standard, no. And I know Casey is sitting next to you, probably with a glass of wine and your cat giggling. Stop it. God, I hate pickles. If anyone's wondering, the reason why people make pickle jokes with me is because I absolutely detest them. I can't stand the smell. I can't drink the juice. They're disgusting to me. Disgusting. And then I got challenged by some viewers if they were to donate a certain amount of money to a charity that I chose, that would I eat a pickle on camera? So I said deal because I knew they wouldn't be able to raise enough. And so they said how much? And I said 500. And they said deal. And I'm like, no, wait a second. And then they raised it and they sent it to the charity and I ate a pickle on camera. And yeah, it was painful. Are we rooting for Renfro in Carolina? They're talking highly of him putting on route running clinics over there. Well, Jeff, I mean, we already knew that about Renfro. No one should be surprised if he goes somewhere else and has success. There's no surprise to that. He just first couldn't stay completely healthy with us. And then third, when we were doing the coaching carousel, guys were coaching-wise were coming in and just looking at him and kind of going, eh. You know what I mean? Not honoring the guy, I guess. I don't know why. Maybe it's the dad bod. I don't know. Johnny, no, we're not still talking about Christian Wilkins. It's just if someone asks me, I'll bring it up. But, yeah, he's gone. Bob Stanek! Who, by the way, if anyone needs a good sign, check this out. Right? R8RBEAR live. Right? Bob made that for me, and he makes them in color, bright colors and things like that, so don't feel like it just looks like wood like that. That's just how I wanted it. I like the stained wood look, and so he did that for me personal. Joe, talking about Christian Wilkins. Yeah, Jesse, I have to imagine Max was probably pretty pissed off. You're breaking the concentration of men in a locker room. You know what I mean? It's not okay. It just wasn't okay. It's an etiquette that's not okay. I mean, and can we just for a second make it clear that is still a business. The Raiders organization is a business, and those men in that weight room are employees. Okay? So you cannot behave that way at work. In any other job where you're employed, that's sexual harassment or battery. You know what I mean? It just is. Jesse Parker says, Joseph Bear, you were on point with Miller since day one. You know, honestly, and I admitted it. I know I said he wasn't going to be that good. I know I said that he was going to be clumsy, and then he was all those things as a rookie. But then he slowly, very quickly progressed into a great player. And you know, I'm big about credibility. You know what I mean? So if I make a prediction and I'm right, I'm going to let you know it. But if I make predictions and I'm wrong, I'm going to let you know it, you know. Bear, do you think my comments are me or Casey Statter? Well, I guess now I know. She's too happy about it. I still root for Renfro. He hasn't given me a reason not to. Never said anything against us. Even came in and tried to make a comeback. Yeah, Tana, like I was saying, he's a good guy. That is definitely a guy that you can say once a Raider, always a Raider. You definitely can say that. Yeah, I kind of figured, Bob. Hi, Casey. And after I said hi to you all nice and everything. Oh, Casey took over, okay? All right, center position isn't one that should change often. There's too much communication that comes from the center. Also, pickles are fantastic. I'm glad you enjoy them, Jeff. Well, I don't mind if there's calamity at center because the other guy's better. You know, I mean, I like competition. This is something that we didn't have before, guys. That's why we had Derek Carr for a decade, because we never tried to find someone to uproot him and show that, hey, I'm a better quarterback than that guy. We never even tried. We just kept putting guys behind him that were journeyman number twos or drafting kids, letting them stay there for a little while and then getting rid of them. You know what I mean? But never any genuine competition. I would argue I'm still not happy. Still not happy. This is the only thing. I love the way we've attacked the secondary. Okay, Jeremy Chin at safety, bringing in that kid, Eric Stokes at corner. I love the experience you're getting there. I love the moves we're making. I love Jack Besh. I love Dante Thornton. Okay, on and on. I could keep going. Ashton Genty. We've all forgotten about Ashton Genty. And yet in camp, he already looks like a pro. He's looking great. His build, he's bigger than I realized. Ashton Genty is not a small dude. It's not time yet to start making Marshawn Lynch comparisons, but once the season starts, if he starts cracking a few chests and making a few big runs, we might have to start talking about it. You know what I'm saying? I really like this team, but we have got to answer the right side defensive end so that Max Crosby can cook. Because right now we're asking them to make everyone feel like they're eating lobster out of a taco truck. We need to great analogy, Bear. We need to get a guy on the opposite side of him that can really ball so that he can get free and really do something. And now, without further ado, I would like to introduce to you that woman that needs no introduction, but as one of the best in the business, that red-headed lady of rage. Woo! The Mama Bear! Hi. All that for hi. That's all I want you to do. That's what makes it funny. I appreciate it. What are you up to in the kitchen?
I just finished making frying fish.
Ooh.
And corn, and then Timothy's waiting for you. He's gonna wait for after the show.
Tell him I appreciate that. Yeah. I won't be too long.
Nope, love you.
My son's in town from out of town, and he's gonna be leaving soon. So I gotta go give him hugs and kisses from his papa. Let's see. What's up, Mike? One more time. Do you think we're out of the race for a top-tier quarterback for next year's draft if we start winning? I believe we are. Mike, I would say this. I believe we are too, but I don't care. Because I do think that Geno Smith is young enough and athletic enough to be a guy for us for 3 years that can give us good mobility and an ability to throw while on the run, which is what we'd be looking for in college anyway, and then we'd have to wait and get them, their first year under their belt and so on and so forth. Peggy here, that towel made me laugh, but you're copying the Steelers. Just like calling yourself Nation. Hey, Peggy, you stop that, okay? We're the only Nation. You guys are terrible towel guys. Whatever you call yourselves. Terrible, tinky, stinky. I appreciate you, girl. Ramiro, it is assault. It is. I honestly, I couldn't believe that it didn't get out, sooner. I was shocked that it didn't come out of the Raiders locker room sooner than that. You know what I mean? But from what I understand, and I'm giving you a little bit of a scoop here because I haven't heard too many people talk about it, but whoever it was that he scamooched on the head, and please forgive me for not knowing who it was. I do know who it was. I just can't remember the guy's name, and I didn't write it down. But the player who he smooched on top of his dome is talking about suing. You know what I mean? Feeling unsafe work conditions. You know what I mean? He might get some hefty little lawsuit out of the Raiders. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. We'll have to see. Was it Jamal Adams? Or, Jeff, are you just saying that's your, favorite new addition? I like Jamal Adams. I like what he can bring. But I'm worried that he's only going to be able to give us a few games. He's a banger. You know what I mean? And he's a guy now that's on the other side of his career to where now when he's giving you those big shots, there's at least one or two that makes him miss a game or two, sometimes more. Then he's back, plays well, bangs with someone, then misses a game. And I'm kind of hoping that he can play through the season and not have that happen. And then Devin White, same thing. Him and Devin White. And then also you got the kid Roberts that we brought in, the linebacker that Peggy's Steelers gave us. There's some, and Jeremy Chin, these are guys that Eric Stokes, these are guys that are all thumpers. And I mean thumpers. They don't just go to tackle. They go to tackle and look for the hit. You know what I mean? And so we have guys like that on the roster now for the first time in a long time. And now having some for the first time in a long time, instead having multiple ones. You know what I mean? Because Devin White is cracking heads. He's talking about a resurgence of his career. So, yeah, I'm excited. My sign business is picking up. Just like Bear said, I use pine wood, redwood. I paint or stain signs. Customers love my work. There's the commercial. Who's going to win the center job? Troy, I think ultimately, I think Meredith is going to end up falling back and is going to end up at one of the guard positions or there for depth. You know what I mean? I just can't. I can't see it. Now, if Jackson does lose the center position battle to Meredith, it's not as big a deal. You wanted Jackson to be brought in to be the unsung center because of how great he was in college at that position. But if Meredith outplays him, Meredith outplays him. You know what I mean? But I can't imagine the pick where they picked Jackson. I just don't see that, that they're gonna want to sit him down or move him to another guard. I think he's gonna play. I think he's gonna be the starting center. Jesse Parker said, Jamal Adams at linebacker, what are your thoughts? Honestly, I like it. I think it's smart for two reasons. One, he's big enough to play the position, and he can rove around like a free safety, but come down and line up as a linebacker, where now he can pick up tight ends. He has enough foot speed for that. He can pick up running backs. He has enough foot speed for that. And he's a smart enough player for player recognition. So he's going to see what's coming. He's going to recognize it quickly, understand whether it's bubble screen, pass, or a run, and he can attack and make plays. But instead of having a long run in from the secondary, you line him up at linebacker. Now he's going to thump guys, but it's not going to be with full force speed behind it. Now maybe you keep him healthier, and he can still be physical. I like it. I hope we see him puff up. I'm going to keep an eye on him in camp, but I hope we see him puff up a little bit and they take that linebacker position for him seriously. I think that would be very smart. Tim Steeler Nation wasn't a thing till the 90s. Raider Nation was born in the 70s, so yeah, there's only one nation. Jeff Foster, you be nice. We don't fight with wives. Because it's not Tim saying it, it's Peggy. She's a big-time Steeler fan. Much love, girl. I've got a Giants fan that watches me religiously. He just doesn't comment because he doesn't want to get in fights with people. I have a couple Bengals fans. I know I have other Steeler fans and so on that watch the show. So, good people. Can Jamal Adams also start at linebacker? Can we have 4 linebackers on the field? Well, I think they want to have 4 linebackers on the field as far as position. So it won't necessarily be. You'll have 3 linebackers and Jamal Adams. So you'll still be playing a 4 linebacker set. You're just going to be mixing him into it. Sometimes they can also disguise it as a nickel, and then he can drop down to that. And the nice part is, even if he's at linebacker, he can pedal back. If he sees a pass play and he knows he can be more helpful in that way, he can be back in the secondary. Tanamoku says, I hear that Eichenberg has been with the ones. Tanamoku, I've been saying since the beginning that I truly think that Eichenberg is going to be seen. We are going to love that guy. He's got a real Bill Romanowski kind of vibe coming off of him to me. In other words, he has all the physical tools. You just need him up here to catch up to the game. And it's not the speed of the game. He has that, but he has to catch up with recognition. That's the only thing Eichenberg has left to do. Now, when people say, well, if he doesn't recognize things, does that mean that he's not that smart a player? No. What it means is that in college, and you see this a lot with star players in college, they're really not allowed to think. They're told what to do, how to do it, and where to do it on every defensive play. They will need Tommy Eichenberg when he comes up to the pros to understand whoever the captain is on that defense, the middle linebacker, say it's Jermaine Pratt. Jermaine Pratt might look at him and call an audible to another defense. He's got to know what that is in seconds and then know whether that means, hey, I need you to pick up the tight end or we're blitzing or I need you to drop back, we're playing a zone. Eichenberg doesn't know how to do that. And so, like I've always said, it's the dreaded L for Eichenberg, meaning he's learning. He's having to learn at the NFL level, and I never give good odds of learn at the NFL level and you're going to, be a great player and there's not going to be any problems. I have a problem with that. I love Eichenberg a lot, but I'm having a hard time believing he can really do it now once I heard about that, because I just didn't think about that when he was at Ohio State. I should have realized, or the Buckeyes, but he just he's one of my guys. He's one of my guys that I picked before he got drafted. I was like, I want that guy at linebacker. So then when we got him, I was just like, you know what I mean? And it's like the 3rd or 4th draft in a row where I've predicted at least one guy that we picked in one of the rounds. I don't pick what round. I just pick a guy and I say that guy's going to be a Raider. And then Raider. Hi, baby. Jesse Parker. Give her a kiss from me. Hi, Cheyenne. Yeah, Tana, he's been alternating, though, starting and working with the second team with Meredith. So, yeah, and Jeff, I do think JPJ will be the center. I do. Steven showing me I'm putting on a good show for him and Mrs. Shaw. Appreciate the love, brother. Aw, and she says hi. Hi, love. Appreciate you. You have a beautiful family. Good night, Corinna. Much love to you, girl. And with that being said, that is my show. Shout out to our armed forces, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, National Guard, Space Force. For all you do, the energy and love of this show is dedicated to your sacrifice. Active and veteran, much love. R8RBEAR! I appreciate you all. Please excuse me, I'm cutting it out just a little bit early so I can get my son on the road. He's going to catch a plane, and I'm threatening to make him late. I don't care. I'm going to keep going. Going to keep doing the show. Leave me alone! R8RBEAR family, R8RBEAR family page. Please like and subscribe. Don't forget, I'm in year 10. Year 10. R8RBEAR live, year 10. Subscribe. Let's go.